Okay, so get this, a project called Stargate.
Stargate.
Yeah. A $500 billion investment
Wow.
in AI infrastructure, and it's happening right here in the U.S.
Right here.
We're diving deep into all this today. We've got OpenAI's announcement, some background from Wikipedia,
No?
and an analysis of their AI infrastructure investments to try to figure out what this all means.
Yeah, the scale of this is just unlike anything we've ever seen.
I know, it feels like we've stepped into some kind of sci-fi movie.
It does.
President Trump announced Stargate himself.
You did.
Even suggested he might use emergency declarations to accelerate development.
Yeah, that definitely raises the stakes.
So what exactly is Stargate?
So it's a joint venture between some major players, OpenAI, SoftBank, Oracle, and MGX.
Got it.
The plan is to invest $500 billion over 4 years.
$500 billion.
Yeah, to build entirely new AI infrastructure.
Wow.
Right here in the U.S., and they're not messing around. $100 billion is being deployed immediately.
Wow, this isn't some distant future concept. This is happening now.
It is.
It's hard to even wrap my head around a number that big.
Yeah.
What are they hoping to achieve with all of this?
So the stated goals are pretty ambitious. Securing American leadership in the AI field.
Right.
Creating jobs, boosting the economy.
Okay.
And even implications for national security.
Wow. Okay, let's break down who's involved in this massive undertaking.
Okay, so OpenAI is taking the lead on actually building and running the project, leveraging their existing partnerships with companies like Microsoft and NVIDIA.
Which is interesting because Microsoft has been heavily investing in OpenAI and their use of Azure cloud computing.
Yeah, you're right, and that existing partnership will continue.
Yeah.
OpenAI will still be using Azure even as they develop the new Stargate infrastructure.
So it's not an either.
It's not an either.
They're pursuing both.
Yeah, they're pursuing both avenues.
So even more computing power for OpenAI.
Right.
And who else is involved?
So SoftBank, with Masayoshi Son at the helm as Stargate's chairman, is essentially the financial powerhouse behind the project.
Okay.
Then you have Oracle and NVIDIA working together to actually build and operate these new computing systems. And ARM is listed as another key technology partner early on.
It's a team of heavy hitters, that's for sure.
Yeah.
So where will all of this be located? We're talking about infrastructure on a scale never seen before.
Construction has already begun in Texas.
Texas.
And they're planning 10 data centers there initially.
Wow.
They're also looking at potential locations across the U.S. for further expansion.
That makes sense. Given the claims of over 100,000 new jobs being created, that's a significant number, especially with all the talk about AI.
Look, this could be enormous, not just in terms of jobs, but also in terms of the technological advancements it could drive.
Well, now let's talk about the name itself, Stargate. It's not just a cool sci-fi word.
You're right, it has a double meaning. It refers to an existing AI supercomputer that OpenAI and Microsoft developed last year.
Okay.
But I think there's a deeper, more metaphorical significance to the name as well.
I was hoping you'd say that because when you think about what a Stargate represents, a portal to new worlds, new possibilities, it really sparks the imagination. What could this portal lead to in the context of AI?
That's where things get truly fascinating. On a practical level, this kind of investment could lead to AI development at an unprecedented pace.
Okay.
Think about it, larger, more complex AI models. The ability to analyze massive data sets and entirely new capabilities that we haven't even conceived of yet.
It's like giving AI researchers a rocket ship when they're used to bicycles. It completely changes the game.
Exactly. But beyond the technological leaps, there are broader implications as well. The fact that Stargate is being positioned as a national security asset is significant.
President Trump has been very vocal about the U.S. winning the AI race, so this aligns with that agenda.
It does. This project signifies a shift in how governments perceive and utilize AI. It raises questions about AI's role in international relations and global power dynamics.
Yeah.
We're potentially talking about a major paradigm shift.
And it all stems from this Stargate. This project could lead to global AI collaboration networks, making advanced AI accessible to everyone. Or it could lead to the development of entirely new AI architectures, perhaps even incorporating quantum computing.
The possibilities are mind-boggling.
They are.
And that's what makes this so intriguing.
Yeah.
We're witnessing the start of something truly transformative.
We've covered a lot of ground already, but we've barely scratched the surface of what this project could mean.
We haven't even touched on the potential impact on specific industries
Right.
or the potential for AI to address some of humanity's biggest challenges.
This is just the beginning of our deep dive into the Stargate project. We've got a lot more to unpack, so stay with us.
One of the things that really stands out to me from these sources is the emphasis on national security.
Yeah, you're right. This isn't just about advancing AI just because.
Right.
It's about making sure the U.S. is in a dominant position globally when it comes to this increasingly important field.
It's interesting, though, because it's not just about military application.
Right.
It's also about economic and technological dominance.
Mm-hmm.
President Trump even mentioned using emergency declarations
Really?
to speed up the development of the project, especially when it comes to the energy infrastructure needed.
Yeah. That makes sense when you consider how much energy AI requires.
Yeah.
These data centers are going to be consuming as much power as small cities.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So having a reliable and sustainable energy source is absolutely crucial for a project of this scale.
Yeah.
It actually brings up an interesting question about the environmental impact.
Oh, that's a good point. I hadn't even thought about that.
Yeah, it's something we can't overlook. The energy demands of AI are only going to increase as these models become more complex and powerful.
So sustainability is a key factor here. But getting back to the economic side of things,
Okay.
what kind of impact could this project have on the global landscape?
Well, if Stargate achieves its goals, it could shift the balance of power within the tech industry.
Okay.
We could see the U.S. solidifying its position as the global leader in AI,
Right.
attracting the best minds, investment dollars, and innovation from all over the world.
From an American perspective, that sounds pretty good.
Yeah.
But what about other countries? How are they likely to react to this?
It's hard to say for sure, but it's safe to assume that other countries with their own AI ambitions will be watching this development very closely. We could even see a kind of AI arms race as countries try to catch up or even surpass the U.S.
That sounds a little unsettling, almost like something out of a dystopian novel.
It's a valid concern. We have to be aware of the potential for AI to be used for both good and bad purposes.
Yeah, for sure. Okay. Let's shift gears for a moment and think more about the Stargate metaphor. We talked about it being a portal to new possibilities, but what could those possibilities actually look like?
That's where it gets really exciting. Imagine AI systems that can solve some of humanity's biggest problems, like climate change, poverty, and disease.
Or AI that helps us understand the universe in ways we never thought possible.
Exactly. We could be on the verge of incredible scientific discoveries, new forms of art and creativity, and even new ways of connecting with each other.
It feels like we're standing at the edge of a vast uncharted territory.
It does.
And Stargate is the key that unlocks it.
Yeah.
But there's always the potential for unintended consequences, right?
Absolutely. We need to be thoughtful and proceed with caution as we develop and deploy these incredibly powerful technologies.
Yeah.
It's crucial to have open and honest conversations about the potential risks and what safeguards we need to put in place.
So it's not just about building bigger and faster AI. It's about building AI that aligns with human values. AI that benefits all of humanity.
Precisely. And that's a challenge that's going to require collaboration, not just between scientists and engineers, but between policymakers and society as a whole.
This is pretty heavy stuff. I'm starting to feel the weight of all this talk about Stargate.
It's a lot to process, I know. That's what we're here for, though, to break down complex topics and help you make sense of it all.
Speaking of making sense of things, remember that OpenAI announcement we mentioned earlier? It hinted at something called AGI, Artificial General Intelligence.
Oh, yeah.
Can you shed some light on what that means?
Ah, yes, AGI. That's the holy grail of AI research. It's the idea of creating AI systems that have the same general intelligence as humans, or even surpass human capabilities.
So we're talking about machines that can think, learn, and solve problems just like we can.
And potentially even better than we can. AGI could have huge implications for everything from the future of work to the very nature of consciousness itself.
We're getting into real sci-fi territory now. Are we even close to achieving AGI?
That's a question that sparks a lot of debate. Some experts think we're still decades, maybe even centuries away from real AGI.
Wow.
Others believe that we're making such rapid progress that we could see major breakthroughs in the next few years.
So it's a mystery, a big unknown. And maybe the Stargate Project is one of the keys to solving that mystery.
It's certainly possible. With this level of investment in AI infrastructure, we could see a surge in new research discoveries and advancements that bring us closer to understanding AGI.
This is all pretty mind-blowing. I need a minute to let it all sink in.
Take your time. It's a lot to absorb.
Okay, I think I'm ready for more. Where do we go from here?
Well, we've talked about the potential benefits and risks of Stargate, But what about the people who will be most affected by it?
You mean the people who will actually be building and operating these massive data centers?
Exactly. And the communities where those data centers will be built, what are the economic and social implications for them?
That's a great point. We need to consider the human element of this technological revolution.
Absolutely. And that's something we'll explore further when we discuss the potential impact of Stargate on jobs communities and the future of work itself.
We were just talking about the human side of this whole Stargate project, the impact this could have on jobs communities and even the future of work.
Right.
It's one thing to discuss the big futuristic possibilities, but we can't forget about the people
Yeah,
who will be directly affected by all of this.
absolutely. I think while we've discussed the potential for, global shifts,
Right.
technological breakthroughs, we want to make sure we ground this conversation
Yeah.
in the reality of how Stargate's going to impact people's lives, day-to-day level.
And one of the most immediate impacts will likely be felt in the job market.
Yeah, for sure.
The announcement mentioned the creation of over 100,000 jobs.
Right.
But what kinds of jobs are we actually talking about here?
And so just constructing these enormous data centers is going to require a massive workforce.
Okay.
Engineers, electricians, technicians, all sorts of skilled tradespeople.
Got it.
Then once the infrastructure is built, there will be a continuous need for people to operate and maintain it.
Right.
That means jobs in IT, cybersecurity, data management, and more.
So it's not just about creating these highly specialized technical jobs for, software engineers and AI experts.
Right.
There's a ripple effect that touches many different sectors of the economy.
Exactly. And President Trump highlighted that in his announcement,
Yeah.
emphasizing the potential for Stargate to revitalize American manufacturing and create a whole new generation of blue-collar jobs.
Which makes a lot of sense, especially given the concerns some people have about AI leading to widespread job displacement. Stargate seems to offer a counter-narrative to that fear.
It does. But it also raises some important questions.
That way.
Are these new jobs going to be sustainable in the long run? What kind of training and education will people need to be qualified for these roles? And how will this influx of workers impact the communities where these data centers are being built?
Those are all really important considerations. It feels like we're opening a Pandora's box of possibilities of Stargate.
It does.
And not all of them are necessarily positive.
Right.
We need to be prepared for the potential challenges as well as the exciting possibilities.
I agree. And I think one of the biggest challenges we'll face is making sure the benefits of AI are shared equitably.
Okay.
We need to ensure that everyone, regardless of their background or where they live, has access to the opportunities created by this technology.
That sounds like a huge task. Where do we even begin to address something like that?
It starts with education and training.
Okay.
We need to invest in programs that give people the skills they need to succeed in an economy that's increasingly powered by AI.
Right.
And we need to make sure those programs are accessible to everyone, not just a select few.
So it's not just about building the physical infrastructure, it's about investing in human capital as well.
Precisely. It's about creating a society that values continuous learning.
Yeah.
And empowers people to adapt and grow as technology keeps advancing.
It seems like we're on the cusp of a major societal transformation.
It does feel that way.
One that's both thrilling and a bit daunting. Stargate feels like a catalyst for that transformation.
I think that's a great way to put it.
Yeah.
And how we navigate this transformation will shape the future of our world.
Well, we've only scratched the surface of this topic today,
Right.
but unfortunately our deep dive has to come to an end here.
It's been a fascinating conversation.
It has.
I think if there's one key takeaway, it's that the Stargate Project is much more than just a technological achievement.
Mm-hmm.
It has the potential to trigger profound social and economic changes.
Right.
And how we respond to those changes will determine what our future looks like.
It's definitely a lot to think about, but that's what the deep dive is all about, right?
Right.
We explore these complex issues,
We do.
examine the different perspectives, and hopefully spark more questions than we answer.
Because the questions that really stay with us are the ones that keep us thinking, keep us exploring, and push us to imagine what's possible.
And on that note, I'll leave you with one final thought-provoking question to ponder.
Okay.
What do you think the long-term implications of the Stargate project will be? How will this impact your life, your work, or even the future of humanity? We'd love to hear your thoughts. Share them with us on social media or send us an email.
Until next time, keep diving deep into the topics that matter most to you.